having gone through a significant number of questions, as I indicated at the start, I'll give every candidate 3 minutes each to sum up, and I will start on this occasion with Mrs. Hendy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, you might not believe it, but I've quite enjoyed this afternoon. I found things hidden away in my brain that I wasn't quite aware were there, but they are there, and hopefully I'll be able to use them again. As I've said, I have a calling, I think, to take a role on that's not just on the sidelines. I'd like to think I can work collaboratively with the members of the Keys in taking forward important policies into the future. I'd like to think part of that will be enabling that balance to be achieved, whereby our economics can support the level of our population and the services we require. I'd like to think included in that, in my important kind of goals, would be to assist in trying to solve this problem with health, but care of our elderly, particularly we're all lasting longer. The healthcare is so good that we're lasting into our 80s and 90s, which was unknown. Being Manx born and bred, and having worked for the most part of my life on the island, I have a real passion for the Isle of Man. I'm proud to be Manx. I'm proud of what we have here and what's to be protected. I am worried about our built environment at times, but being in planning, I'm now able to take a part in that. We've got the Eastern Area Plan coming to the fore. The draft plan, I think, is due to come out. The planning system is being reviewed, and we'll soon find out what the proposals are for that. I feel I've got a lot to give, and I'm in this unique position with my experience and my background that isn't present elsewhere in the whole makeup. The choice is yours. What's missing, it's up to you to decide if I can fill one of those 5 roles. I'd like to think that you might have gained some confidence in my abilities this afternoon, and that I have a dedication and commitment to give to the role should I be fortunate enough to be elected. Thank you.
Mr. Hardy.
Yeah, firstly, apologies for coming to this late. I'm very conscious that I threw my hat in the ring very late, and I bombarded a lot of people with a lot of information about myself to try and get my foot in the door. I'm eternally grateful for people to give me the opportunity to allow me to get involved in this, because I think this is a hugely important thing. I think that having the ability to actually get involved in the way that the Isle of Man develops is a massive honour. I genuinely believe, as I stated before, I'm not actually from here, so I look at this with eyes from someone who's lived elsewhere, and I see nothing but potential. I look at the way that Peel has been developed. I look at the staycation market, the way that people now are looking to stay at home. I look at the qualities of life that the Isle of Man has, and the way that this island looks, and the way, you know, everything about it. It's an incredible place. So for me to have the opportunity to try and get involved in this is something that I would cherish and I would honour. I'm also very aware that from the work point of view, I do have responsibilities, but I'm in a position where the businesses are well established. I've got a good team in place. I have more flexibility because I am the boss, so I can pretty much choose as and when. I'm not going to lie and say that I will step away, because I won't, because I've got so many people working for me, and it's a solid business and it's doing very well, and it contributes vast amounts to the Manx economy. I've probably put 8-9 million quid into the Manx economy with the businesses that I've run in the 16 years that I've been here, and employed hundreds of people. So I'm fully aware of this. Numbers is what I'm good at. I can look at things, and any way that I can contribute, I would be honoured, and I think that it's something that, you know, I would thoroughly enjoy, and my little brain is firing at this minute in time, and I'm loving that. So thank you for giving me that opportunity.
Okay. Mr. Cartledge.
Thank you. Honourable members, thank you very much for giving your time this afternoon. I'm sure it's been a bit of a challenge, and congratulations, Mr. Speaker, finishing bang on 4:30 for the questions. That was very good. I'm aware of the challenges that government and you in particular have trying to deliver services for people, as Mrs. Poole-Wilson said. You know, sort of we have a vast range of ages to deliver to and to meet the needs. As I mentioned, I'm supportive of reform. I was pleased to read the Chief Minister's comments regarding about the just about managing people. There's a lot of people getting squeezed out there. On the issue of pay, I do support the review. It was touched upon earlier, but Mr. Speaker's review of pay, I think it's inequitable that MHKs receive the same level of pay as MLCs. But aside from that, I'm not Manx, as I've already told you, but I am proud of this island and I passionately care about it and its people. I feel my skills are suited to the role and it would be an honour to serve. For those of you that I haven't met personally yet, I look forward to meeting you, and on March the 12th I hope that I can receive your support. Thank you.
Mr. Sharpe.
Honourable members, in summary, I'd like to highlight my 3 key skills. Ability to get the job done, excellent communication skills, and forensic attention to detail. In addition, I have a natural ability to look at not just what's in front of me, but what isn't being talked about, what stories have yet to be told. I also have a documentary maker's ability to take a blank piece of paper when I approach any subject and to say, do we need a fresh angle on this? And if so, what is it? How do we engage the public and get them behind our idea? How do we turn this vision into a reality? Honourable members, I think that at this moment in time, these skills would be of great benefit to the Legislative Council and to the people of the Isle of Man. Thank you.
Mrs. Poole-Wilson.
Thank you, yes, honourable members and Mr. Speaker, for your time this afternoon. I am strongly proud and passionate about our island and seeing it go from strength to strength and be successful. There is a programme for government, and I think the newly elected House of Keys in September 2016 has energy and commitment, and I personally have been felt very privileged to be able to join Tynwald and to see that dynamic in action. I do feel that Legislative Council has an important part to play in the success of our Parliament and in the successful implementation of the programme for government. Whilst it is not for Legislative Council to create policy, I think there is an enormous amount that Legislative Council can contribute in the successful evolution and testing of policy and scrutinising and supporting developments where necessary. I believe I have relevant skills, experience and above all commitment to work in that way, and I would very much value the opportunity to be able to serve further on Legislative Council and bring my skills to help overall our Parliament. I'd also, as I've already said, feel very passionately about trying to improve the public perception and faith in our Parliament, and particularly the contribution that Legislative Council does bring. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Chambers.
Yes, thank you, everybody. It certainly has been a very interesting afternoon, and it's actually brought to mind for me the first time that I stood up and spoke in public as my job at Manx Cancer Health, which was at a very large conference introducing a very eminent professor, and I was shockingly bad. And I have built on that since, and now know that I can speak with passion on a subject that I know. Let's bear in mind that this isn't a subject that at the moment I know. And I haven't acquitted myself to my full potential this afternoon. And Mrs. Beecroft said to me beforehand, don't go off and beat yourself up afterwards for what you didn't say, but I think that's an inevitable part of what we all do. I do have great passion for the Isle of Man. I've brought 4 children up here, 2 of which now live off island, and I fully recognise the need for us to show our children that they can, this is a wonderful place to come back and bring their children up. I spend my life advocating for people who are feeling at their most vulnerable time in life, and I think that is a really important role that I could bring. I'm not the finished article in the way that my legal background is, I don't have one, but all of these constituent parts of a council are important. I know my limitations. I can advocate for people who are going through difficult times. I know that we can make great changes and that this government is fully engaged in doing that. and scrutinising policy is something that I feel that I have very relevant skills to do. There's an awful lot more that I really feel that I should have said, and something that I have learned. I like to speak from the heart. It's who I am. I don't like to read from notes. I have a lot of notes in here that I haven't referred to. I think me, having done this job and learnt about the role, would speak more eloquently to you, and I apologise for that, but please don't doubt my commitment and the fact that I think that I do have a lot of skills that I could bring to this role if elected. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Skinner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honourable members, much of what is being asked for in this role, I believe that I am currently doing at local government level, and I feel with the experiences I have gained there, I am now better prepared to take the step up to national government. And if elected on March the 12th, I would be here and prepared to serve our island and all of its people. As I said earlier, it's not a job, it's more a commitment. I believe that Tynwald and its branches has a duty to work together, diligently, openly, for the well-being and quality of life for the whole of our society. The Isle of Man is unique, and I believe it remains a great place to be. And what we have here is still of interest to people all over the world, many of whom would love to experience or return to what we have and enjoy. If it be the wish of the members to elect me, I would be honoured to work with you and to help achieve your goals and good governance. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, members.
Mr. Ramsay.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that actually it was never my plan to seek election to the Legislative Council. When I retired from the civil service last year, my intention was to return after a decent interval to some form of political journalism and commentary. In fact, that's what I will do if I'm unsuccessful in this election. But when I saw the notice advertising the vacancies on LegCo, I thought again about the role of MLC and about my experiences over the past 4 decades. I spent 18 years as a political and business journalist, and then 17 years at the centre of government in the Chief Secretary's office, which now of course is the Cabinet Office. And I even wrote a book, or part of a book, on the subject of Manx politics. That's how sad I am. So I offer 35 years experience of politics without the political baggage. And that's a big chunk of corporate memory, which I think is an increasingly rare and hopefully valuable resource. In fact, the only person in this room who goes back to Tynwald in the 1980s is Mr. Cretney. So, you know, we're a dying breed, I think.
Not too soon.
No, hopefully not. So I bring no agenda apart from a clear commitment to the principles of open, transparent and accountable government. I believe, as I said before, the island needs more independent political scrutiny, and that would be my focus if elected. Tynwald is at the heart of what makes this island different, and as a Manxman I feel it will be a tremendous honour to serve as a member of the Legislative Council. It's sometimes said that you can't know where you're going until you know where you've been. I remember how we got to where we are today, and I would like to help you as you take our island forward to the future. Thank you.
Honourable members, can I address a few remarks to the candidates? Congratulations to you all on your performance this afternoon. Well done. Of course, every member of the House of Keys has been through this in a public environment, so you might be forgiven for thinking they're relishing the chance at revenge. But it is an important job that you're all standing for, and we all want to make sure that we've had the opportunity to question the candidates. So thank you all very much for coming in this afternoon and facing the electorate. And I'd ask my colleagues in the House of Keys and Legislative Council to give a round of applause and thank the candidates.